Hey everybody, welcome to Reading the Bible to Cats. Um, Guster is very happy. He's in the in this room with me. Sometimes he's looking at the shadows on the wall. Oh well, he was looking at the shadows on the wall. Anyway, he's very happy in this room, but I don't always have the door open. Um, I don't actually sleep with them at night because Guster will walk on my head and wake me up. So I try not to sleep with them, but we do cuddle. We do cuddle before I go to sleep. But anyway, yeah. Welcome. Did I say welcome to Reading the Bible to Cats? Um, I'm excited to read a little something. I don't know where Henry is. He was in here. Sorry, I'm trying to situate the camera a bit. I I realize when I move stuff around, there's like some staticky noise, so forgive me if I'm doing that. I'll try and get better about that. Let's read. Um, well, how about Proverbs chapter 20? The reason I say that is because I was in a grocery store before coming home, and excuse me, there was a woman who I sat down to eat like a snack in the little cafe that they had, and I heard some woman in the corner say, "Thank you, Jesus." And I didn't really pay attention. I didn't turn, but then as I got up to leave, I saw that she was studying the Bible, and she had all these highlighters out, and she was just studying, and she had a T-shirt on that said something like faith. And so as I walked by her, I said, "Oh, good for you. What are you reading?" And she said, "Oh, Proverbs chapter 20. It's so there's so much in here. It's wonderful." And so I said, "Okay, well, when I get home, I'll read it." So here we are. Let's go ahead and see what she was praising God about. And I'm sure I've probably read this recently, maybe, but the reason I repeat things is so they will stick. You know what I mean? Um, let's. Ooh, Guster is fuzzy. Okay, let's read. Let's look up. I'm going to look it up. Proverbs 20. Okay, Proverbs 20. I'll go ahead and pounce on it now. Wine is a mocker, and beer a brawler. Whoever is led astray by them is not wise. A king's wrath strikes terror like the roar of a lion. Those who anger him forfeit their lives. It is to one's honor to avoid strife, but every fool is quick to quarrel. Sluggards do not plow in season, so at harvest time they look but find nothing. Sorry, everybody, I'm losing Guster in the. Let me. Let's have a little break here. As like, hold on one second. Oops, sorry, everyone. That's a really weird angle. Okay, well, apologies. Okay, back to Proverbs chapter 20. Uh-oh, the camera's gonna fall. Verse 5. The purposes of a person's heart are deep waters, but one who has insight draws them out. Many claim to have unfailing love, but a faithful person who can find? The righteous lead blameless lives. Blessed are their children after them. When a king sits on his throne to judge, he winnows out all evil with his eyes. Who can say, I have kept my heart pure, I am clean and without sin? Differing weights and differing measures, the Lord detests them both. Even small children are known by their actions. So is their conduct really pure and upright? Ears that hear and eyes that see, the Lord has made them both. Do not love sleep, or you will grow poor. Stay awake, and you will have food to spare. It's no good, it's no good, says the buyer, then goes off and boasts about the purchase. Gold there is, and rubies in abundance, but lips that speak knowledge are a rare jewel. Take the garment of one who puts up security for a stranger, hold it in pledge if it is done for an outsider. Food gained by fraud tastes sweet, but one ends up with a mouthful of gravel. Plans are established by seeking advice, so if you wage war, obtain guidance. Oops, sorry everyone, the camera fell. A gossip betrays a confidence, so avoid anyone who talks too much. If someone curses their father or mother, their lamp will be snuffed out in pitch darkness. An inheritance claimed too soon will not be blessed at the end. Do not say, I'll pay you back for this wrong. Wait for the Lord, and he will avenge you. The Lord detests differing weights, and dishonest scales do not please him. A person's steps are directed by the Lord. How then can anyone understand their own way? It is a trap to dedicate something rashly and only later to consider one's vows. A wise king winnows out the wicked. He drives the threshing wheel over them. The human spirit is the lamp of the Lord that sheds light on one's inmost being. Love and faithfulness keep a king safe. Through love, his throne is made secure. The glory of young men is their strength. Gray hair, the splendor of the old. Blows and wounds scrub away evil, and beatings purge the inmost being. Okay, everybody, that's the end of Proverbs 20. There's a lot of food for thought here. um, oops. I wish I could get a better picture here. That's probably better. Aw, Guster's so content on this pillow and on the quilt that Naomi made. Thank you, Naomi. Um, he loves it, and I love it. Anyway, yeah, it's interesting, especially that last verse. Um, you know, blows and wounds scrub away evil, and beatings purge the inmost being. Oh, that's a rough one for me. Um, but I'm sure it's like when we go through stuff in life, it humbles us, and what I guess what I'm thinking when I hear that, read that verse is, you know, the wounds we endure in life sometimes, or the blows that come to us that we're not expecting, but how God can use the trials and tribulations that come our way in life to kind of, scrub us clean, I guess. Um, yeah, or purify in some way. I mean, I don't like to really consider that too much because I like comfort. And I'm not sure I understand the meaning of the verse really, of the proverb. But yeah, there's a lot here. Hold on. Oh, yeah, verse 24. A person's steps are directed by the Lord. How then can anyone understand their own way? That brings me a lot of comfort actually, because I read Psalm 23 yesterday, and the Lord is my shepherd, that he leads us, because sometimes in life I totally don't feel like I am being led. I just sometimes feel like I'm going in circles, and my life isn't very linear, like point A to point B. It's kind of this circular pattern that I'm following in life. Um, and so it feels kind of like I'm wandering around in the wilderness. But this verse, it gives me comfort that it's the Lord who directs your steps, my steps. Sorry, everybody, I have a little cough. It's okay. I'm on the tail end of it, I think. Pardon me. Um, yeah. How, and then the rhetorical question, how then can anyone understand their own way? Yeah. Well, it's comforting to me to think that the Lord directs my steps, because I'm insecure about that. It's interesting, verse 27, the human spirit is the lamp of the Lord that sheds light on one's most inmost being. That's very interesting. I'm not sure what it means, but that our spirit is his lamp in some way. I guess it's the light of our being. Verse 25, it is a trap to dedicate something rashly and only later to consider one's vows. I did that. I made a vow. It was a rash vow, and I know I've talked about it before. Um, when I was in the hospital 25 years ago, I vowed to write a book about my experience, and then, if I lived, and so that's what I did for years and years. I just wrote and 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 wrote, and I never really. It was so hard to actually craft the memoir. It was, I guess, what you would call a crisis memoir, but full of faith, and it was just zany, and but I just kept writing, and it just didn't really have an end, and it was hard to capture everything. But at least I wrote, and so because of that, I can remember my experiences, because after the hospitalization, I just wrote and wrote and wrote. I think if I hadn't written so much, I would have probably forgotten so much of what I went through. But then it was very difficult, you know, and it was kind of a burden to just, labor under the weight of that vow. I'll write a book about this. Well, and I did, but then, you know, I submitted it to this agent and it was rejected. Then I was like, okay, I vowed to write it, but I never vowed to publish it. So I gave up on it. But I don't know, I might have to look at it again and see if I'm inspired to pick it back up. But at least the vow, I, fulfilled it because I did you know, write a book, but I didn't vow to like publish it. Um, anyway, that's my story of a rash vow. I wouldn't recommend anyone make a rash vow. Yeah. Let me see what else. Hold on a sec. Verse 21 is interesting. Proverb: an inheritance claimed too soon will not be blessed at the end. That's interesting. Verse 19: a gossip betrays a confidence, so avoid anyone who talks too much. Yeah. It's kind of like sometimes people, they don't, if they're just kind of gossiping and talking about people, it's not yeah, I mean, isn't it better to talk about, I don't know, your dreams or vision, or the vision you have for your life, or God, or theology, or I don't know, things you're interested in, or books, or your goals, or I don't know, life, or instead of like just gossiping about people. Okay, let me see what else. Do not love, verse 13, do not love sleep or you will grow poor. Stay awake and you will have food to spare. Yeah. Hmm. That's interesting. I still have a hard time in the morning getting up and going and feeling kind of, you know. So you can pray for me for that. Oh, yeah, verse 3, I like that. It is to one's honor to avoid strife, but every fool is quick to quarrel. Yeah, I like to avoid strife if I can. Um, okay. Well, look at look at Guster's little toe beans. Hold on. Isn't that cute? He's so relaxed. You can barely make out his features, but you can see his little chocolate toe beans. Well, yeah, everybody. I so appreciate you. I really can't tell you how much I appreciate this little community and the prayers. And I mean, I feel like prayer is the currency of heaven. I just came up with that. But you know what I mean? It's like so valuable to me. There literally was a time in my life where I literally think I lived off prayers when I was in the hospital. But that reminds me of an old Bon Jovi song. What is it? Living on a Prayer. What is it? Living on a Prayer. I can't remember, from the 80s. But anyway, yeah, so thank you for the prayers. And please keep me bathed in prayer. I need it. Um, let me say a prayer for you all. Lord, thank you for this platform and this YouTube community, and for my friends out there who listen and tune in. And I just ask that you would speak to them through your spirit and your word. We know that your word does not return void, Lord. And if there's anything I've said that is like a big boo boo, just erase it. I don't know what to say. And forgive me for not completely, not really understanding some of the things I'm reading, especially that last verse, which you know, I guess I don't like that last verse, but help me understand, Lord. And I do like comfort. I do like ease. I don't like pain and suffering, and I don't like discipline. I don't like being pruned. I don't like all those things, but I do know that, those whom you love, you discipline and you do prune. I pray, Lord, if I'm in a pruning season, that you would give me hope and the faith to understand that it's for my good. Um, because sometimes I feel like I might be in a season where I'm being pruned. I don't like it. Anyway, Lord, I pray for everyone if they're going through a tough time in life or a challenge or a trial or something that's difficult, that you would give them hope and that they would trust the goodness, your goodness. And we need you, Lord. You are life itself. You are life. The world is crazy, but you offer peace and you offer life and life eternal. Pray always, Lord, for the peace of Jerusalem and the protection of Israel, your people. Pray for the hostages. I'm not up on everything. Oh, sorry, Guster's moving. I'm not up on exactly what's going on with the news, but I pray, Lord, for the remaining hostages, for them to be delivered, set free, released from captivity, and just bring them all out, Lord, and let the healing begin. Give give them strength. Be their light in the darkness, and kindle hope within them, Lord. And I pray for anyone who's going through anything difficult in life, Lord, that they would reach out for you and you would sustain them and give them hope. And I pray all these things in Yeshua HaMashiach's name, in Jesus' name, amen. All right, everybody. Well, Guster is, hold on, let's see if you can hear him purring. I think he wants to eat the microphone. Okay, everybody, I'll talk to you tomorrow.